The cloud. And then let's restart this music. Okay. All right. Well, hello, everyone. For my formal introduction, my name is Amanda. And for those of you who have practiced with me or have not, just a reminder that in my class, nothing is required. You have no obligation to do any of the poses that I do. If something doesn't feel right in the body, always back off, just respecting how you feel in the very moment, trying to disconnect from the mind saying, oh, I need to do that, but really, you don't. So especially today, we are going to go over crow pose. We're going to prep for it. And again, you don't have to do it. We'll do different variations. So just playing around. Have a very open mind. Don't worry about it, especially if you fall out of it gracefully. Hopefully you're on some carpet and you're at home, so no judgment, no worries. So today we are going to start in an easy pose. And I'm going to make sure everyone is on mute really quick. Okay. And then I'll just come to a nice easy seat, whether it's crisscrossed or if that doesn't feel good on the knees or the hips, just having the legs out nice and straight. You can also sit on a block or a pillow or a blanket if that feels better. And then once you find that sweet spot, just grounding the sit bones down into the earth, lengthening the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Closing the eyes or letting them be nice and heavy. Rolling the shoulders down the spine, releasing any tensions you may have in the neck or the upper body. You need to move around just a bit, just finding some ease in the body before coming into stillness. And then whenever you want to settle in, just taking a big breath in through the nose. Nice sigh out the mouth. With every inhale, feeling the body expand and lengthen up. With every exhale, feeling grounded, connected to the earth. So for the next hour, you have no obligations, no deadlines, just to be here, present with yourself. Our theme for this class, just like yesterday, is just staying with the breath. Finding that synchronicity between the breath, the mind, and the body. And then if it resonates with you, setting an intention for your practice. It can be a positive affirmation, or maybe it's releasing something that no longer serves or benefits you. Or maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone. Your intention can be as simple as to breathe. The most important thing in our practice or in life is just having a calm breath. And at any point during your practice, If you find your breath is short or shallow, just taking a moment to intentionally slow and deepen the breath. So we're going to do a nice, easy breathing technique right now. Keeping your eyes closed or heavy, we'll keep the hands on top of our knees, or you can always take the hands to heart center, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And then we'll begin to inhale to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just coming back to that natural pace of breath. Finding more ease in the body. Softening the muscles a bit. Just begin to observe the whole entire body. Starting from your legs, working all the way up the torso to the chest, even to the crown of the head. Just noticing that there's any tension lying around. And if there is, just using the breath. Sending the breath to any areas of tension, any areas of darkness. And see if you can breathe through it, letting it go just a bit. Coming into a full body awareness with the mind, with the breath, and with the physical body. And let's just take one more deep inhale through the nose. Nice exhale out the mouth. Keeping the eyes closed, take the chin towards the chest. And then slowly circle the neck to the right, to the back, to the left, and back to the front. And then reversing nice and easy. Once your chin meets your chest again, slowly begin to blink the eyes open, nice and easy. And we'll inhale, take the gaze all the way towards center. On your next breath in, we'll inhale the arms all the way up, gaze looks up. Exhale, just float the arms down, nice and easy. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthening up, growing nice and tall. And then exhale, releasing. 1 more time. Inhale, all the energy all the way up, lengthen, lengthen. This time, exhale, begin to cactus the arms, open up the chest. Maybe the gaze looks up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, just release it all the way down. So we're going to take that right hand, take it off on the side, and we'll inhale that left arm all the way up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen up just a bit higher. And then exhale, maybe extending over, bending that right elbow. Still rooting that left sit bone down into the ground. Nice side body stretch. And again, just backing off if it doesn't feel too good at this point. Just nice, easy breath. We'll inhale both arms all the way up. Exhale, take the left hand down. Inhale that top arm all the way up, lengthening. And then if it feels good, exhale, extending over to the left, rooting that right sit bone into the earth. Stretching out the side body. On your next breath in, we're going to take that top arm and then lift it all the way up, opening up the chest. Exhale, begin to sweep it down towards the left fingertips, closing off. Inhale, opening back up. And then exhale, close. One more time. Inhale, opening up. Tiny little back bend at the top maybe. And then exhale, closing it off. Inhale the right arm up. Let the left hand follow nice and tall. And then exhale, leaning over to the right again. We'll inhale, lift the left fingertips up, maybe a little back bend at the top. And then exhale, closing it in. Left fingertips meet the right. Inhale, open up the chest. And then exhale, begin to close it off. Last time, inhale, open. And then exhale, close. Inhale the left arm up, right hand follows. And then exhale, and just begin to float the hands down. So you're just going to walk our hands over to the right. Right hand behind you, left fingertips on top of that knee. Inhale, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, begin to spin around to the right just a bit, nothing too deep. And we'll take another inhale in. Exhale, maybe twist a centimeter more or even backing off if that doesn't feel good on the spine. One more breath in. And on that breath out, coming back towards center. Walking the hands over to the left side. We'll inhale the spine nice and tall all the way to the crown of the head. And then exhale, begin to spin around to the left. Again, nothing too intense. Another breath in, creating space. And then exhale, moving into that space. One more breath in. And on the breath out, coming back towards center. So we'll take the hands, clasp them behind the back. Inhale, press the chest up, and then take the knuckles down towards the earth. Big breath in. Deeper breath out. Releasing the grasp, and then just walk the hands out in front of you. Maybe sway a little side to side. So stay here if this is enough. Maybe walk the forearms down to a block, down to a pillar, even down to the floor. Tucking the chin in. Maybe finding some stillness. Letting the low back release. And again, finding that nice, calm breath. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly walk the fingertips all the way back up. So from here, if you have your legs crossed, we're just going to take the legs out nice and long. You can grab onto your thighs or just use your core and begin to slowly roll all the way down, one notch at a time. And then we'll bend both knees, place the feet onto the mat. And then take that right ankle, place it on top of that left knee. Stay here, this is enough. If you have a little more space, maybe take the left knee in towards the chest. And then maybe take the hands in between, figure four. And then gently pulling the knee in towards the chest. So flexing that right foot, protecting that right knee. Breathing into that right hip crease. We'll stay here for one more breath in. One more breath out. And then slowly release the foot back down to the ground, taking the right foot down to the mat as well. And then we'll just switch sides. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Stay here. Maybe take that knee closer towards the chest. And maybe thread the hands through, gently pulling the knee
towards the chest, flexing that left foot, protecting that left knee. And then see if you can get the low back flat towards the mat. So not, rounded in, but see if you can lengthen out. You'll feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg, even the glute area. And then sending that breath down into the hip to open up just a bit more. And then we'll release out of that, taking both feet back down to the ground. And then we're going to take both knees in, using your hands, and taking a hold of the shins, rocking side to side. So to open up the hips a little more, take the big toes together, still grabbing onto the shins if this is enough. Maybe take the shins in towards the inner elbows, and then again rocking side to side, feeling a bigger opening in the hip flexors. And taking a breath in, and taking a breath out. And then just releasing out of that. So keep the toes, big toes together, and take the knees out as wide as comfortable. So I really want you to point your toes, so we're really engaging the calves and even the legs, even though we're on our back. And then I want you to take your hands like you're pressing the ceiling away. Engage the core. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, begin to crunch up the knees, maybe come towards the elbows. And then inhale down. We're going to do this a few times. So already you're doing crow pose just on your back. So big inhale in. Exhale, begin to crunch nice and slow with control. And then inhale down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale down. Exhale, crunch. Just a few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And again, deep breath in. Deeper breath out. So this time we're just going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release it all. Maybe grab onto the knees. Circle the knees in one direction. Nice little massage on the low back. And then reversing the knee circles whenever you're ready. When you're ready, grabbing onto the backs of the legs, we're just going to rock and roll up. But maybe rock and roll just a few times. Nice massage on the spine. Using the core and using your momentum. And then we'll come all the way up to a seated position. You can come to a side seat or roll over the knees, whatever feels better. And then we're going to come into our tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, fingertips spread nice and wide. On your next breath in, we're going to lower the belly, open up the chest, gaze looks up. Exhale around the upper back, belly to spine, chin to chest. A few more times. Inhale, pull the heart through, tailbone points up. Exhale, reverse, doming the upper back. I just want you to do this a few more times with your own breath. But then maybe on the cat back, really stay there. Maybe hold just for a breath. Really pressing down through all 10 knuckles, expanding the shoulders. Even closing the eyes. Just feeling all the muscles compress. And then open up. And then when you're ready, we'll find some stillness. Inhale that left leg all the way back, so that left foot, like it's pressing up against the wall. Glute is engaged, so pressing down through all 10 knuckles. Inhale, lift the heel up just a bit. And then exhale, knee comes to chest or knee comes to nose. Inhale, extending back. Exhale, begin to round in.
One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend that left leg out and then gently placing it back into our tabletop. And we'll inhale for a cow pose. Exhale to a cat box. Finding that nice neutral spine again. On your next inhale, we'll extend that right heel out, flexing the toes down towards the ground. Inhale, lift the heel up just an inch, and then exhale, rounding, crunching in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Last time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. And then taking that right leg out, placing it back to tabletop. So taking the big toes together, begin to spread the knees as wide as comfortable, taking the hip bones back towards the heels, and then reaching the arms nice and long, taking the forehead, the third eye down to the ground into child's pose. So we're just going to breathe here for a couple of breaths in this passive stretch. Even expanding the belly with every inhale. Now I want you to press your fingertips down in the crown. We call this like cupcake hands. Begin to really engage the arms, pressing the sit bones back to the heels, and then point your toes. Maybe the forehead even comes off the ground just an inch. Engaging the core, rounding the shoulders, kind of like a cat back. One more inhale. And then exhale, release back to our nice passive child's pose. Big belly breath in. Deeper exhale out. And we'll slowly come back all the way to our tabletop. So because we're going to be doing a lot of chaturangas and our crow pose, we want to warm up our wrists. So taking your wrist right above your shoulders or even a little closer to your knees, fingertips spread nice and wide. You're going to press down into the fingertips and then lift the palms all the way up. And we're just going to do that about 5 times. And then begin to take the fingertips pointing towards the edge of your mat. And then begin pressing down into the fingertips, lifting the palms off the mat. This is great for strengthening your wrists. A couple more times. And then lastly, we're going to take our fingertips in towards midline. They don't have to be totally in, but just at an angle. And then again, lifting up onto the fingertips, and then lifting the palms up. This is also great if you're on the computer a lot. This is a great exercise to do every day just to strengthen up the wrist. And then we'll just shake it out. And then coming back into that nice neutral spine. Begin to press down through all 10 knuckles. Engage the core, tuck the toes under. And we're going to lift the knees, hover just for a few breaths. Maybe even do a little cat back, rounding the shoulders. Keeping the neck and head nice and soft, gaze is looking straight down. Staying here for one calm breath in, one calm breath out. On your next inhale, keeping the knees bent, we're going to lift the hips all the way up and back, pulling the chest through the arms, downward facing dog. So stay here with your knees bent and just begin to lengthen out the spine first. And you can always keep your knees bent through the whole practice. You never have to straighten them out. I'd rather have your spine be nice and long than rounded with straight legs. And then if it feels good, maybe straighten one leg and then the opposite, just pedaling out the feet. Opening up the hamstrings, opening up the calves. And then if it feels good, inhale up onto the tippy toes. Exhale the heels down towards the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up onto the toes. And then exhale the heels down towards the mat. On your next breath in, we'll gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, begin to slowly stroll all the way to the top. Nice simple steps. Once you make your way there, nice generous bend in the knees, folding over the legs. If it feels good, grab onto opposite elbows, sway a little side to side into ragdoll. See if you can get your head, top of your head, parallel to the floor, releasing any tension built up in the neck and shoulders. And then when you're ready, we'll take the fingertips back down to the ground, keeping the head nice and heavy. We'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Once you make it up to standing, roll the shoulders back. Inhale the arms all the way up. Gaze looks in between the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Swan dive down, nice and easy. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on top of the thighs or the shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Twice more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. And we'll just stay here for the breath in. And then on the breath out, lower the knees, bend the elbows all the way down to the belly, and then flattening the feet onto the mat. Take the elbows, dip them in towards the rib cage, elbows pointing towards the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up just an inch for baby cobra, and then exhale down. Twice more. Inhale, maybe a little higher this time, and then exhale down. Last time. Inhale, maybe to a full cobra, and then exhale down with control. Tuck the toes under, again, keeping those elbows pointing towards the back of the room. Engage the core, and then lifting all the way up into a plank pose, and then taking the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. And just pedaling out the feet for one breath. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat, and exhale, begin to take your steps all the way to the top again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, begin to slowly roll up, one notch at a time. Rolling the shoulders back. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, lean with the chest. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat, stepping back to our plank pose. So we're just going to hang out here in our plank pose for a few breaths. If you need to move forward and back, side to side, again, just finding ease and harmony with the body. You can always take your knees down, no big deal. And I know we're in plank pose, but just observing the breath. Telling yourself to take a big inhale in. Nice, calm breath out. So on your next inhale, we're going to lower the knees down again. And then begin to bend the elbows all the way down to the belly. Keep the toes tucked. And then lift the toes, lift the palms just an inch up. And then exhale, begin to press yourself all the way up back to plank pose. A couple more times. Inhale down. Exhale, pressing up. Last time. Inhale down. Exhale, pressing up. This time we're just going to take the knees down. And then coming down to the belly, nice and easy. Flattening the toes onto the ground. We'll inhale for a cobra. So from cobra, you can tuck the toes under, go back into downward facing dog, or maybe engage the core, engage the glutes, and press down to the tops of the feet, coming into upward facing dog. And then we'll all take a nice exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. And then exhale, maybe take a big step all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, root to rise, all the way to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, step back to plank pose. And again, we'll just hang out here for a breath or two. You can always place the knees down on the ground. And again, check in with your hands. See if they're spread nice and wide, still pressing down through all 10 knuckles. Engaging the core, maybe even a little cat back. And then we're just going to set the knees down just for a moment. If you have your block, we're going to go over chaturanga. So if you have a block or a book or even something of a taller height, have it right underneath your chest. With your knees down, toes tucked still, we're going to shift our weight forward just an inch. And then exhale, begin to bend the elbows, grazing the rib cage. Take the chest down to the block or down to the book. And then inhale up. So we want our elbows to be at 90 degrees and no less. And as long as your shoulders are not below your elbow, we want to avoid that. So let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale all the way back. So you want to take a nice little child's pose just for a second. So we're going to do that just 3 more times, but on our toes with our knees lifted. If you want to keep your knees down on the ground, that's totally fine. Or you can stay in child's pose, whatever works for you right now. If you want to come into our full low plank chaturanga, coming into that nice plank pose. Inhale, shifting the weight just a little bit forward, and then exhale, lower down with control, all triceps. And then exhale, pressing up. 2 more times. Inhale down. Exhale up. Last time. Inhale down. Exhale up. Placing the knees down, coming back into that nice child's pose. Whew. Letting the triceps just relax, letting the shoulders relax. And then let's take a big belly breath in. So inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, let it out. So stay here if you need a couple more breaths. That's totally okay. If you're with me, coming back to that tabletop, tuck the toes under, coming into that plank pose. So again, your choice. If you want to lower all the way down to the belly, take your cobra to downward facing, or try your chaturanga, whichever version, to your upward facing or cobra. And then we'll all meet back into a downward facing dog. And we'll just clear this with a big inhale through the nose. Nice exhale out the mouth. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, take a big step all the way up. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Just grounding in for a moment. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. You can go straight to downward facing or take whichever flow feels good to you. And then we'll all meet back into our downward facing. On your next breath in, we're going to lift the right toes all the way up, bend the knee, open up the hips, 3-legged down dog. Rolling up the ankle, and if it feels good, circling open the hips. On your next breath in, we're going to straighten out that leg, squaring off the hips. And then exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. Hold for 1 breath. Inhale that right foot all the way up. Exhale, knee to right tricep, hold. On your exhale, take the foot on the outside of that right hand. So stay here if this feels okay. You can always lower the knee down, coming into lizard pose. You can always take your blocks underneath your hands for more leverage if that's needed. But wherever you are, we're just going to take 3 rounds of breath. Sending the breath down into the hips to open up. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. If your knee is down, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then we'll all just heel toe our foot towards center. Keep that left hand down onto the mat, and we'll inhale that right arm all the way up, twisted low lunge. Big inhale in. On the exhale, right hand switches with the left, back heel spins down to the ground. Inhale the left arm all the way up, reaching nice and tall. And keeping the legs nice and grounded, using that core, we'll inhale all the way up, warrior two. So from here, you can always shorten your stance if that feels better on the hips, and then just checking with the knee that it's right over the ankle or just a little behind. Arms are nice and long. Settling in with the breath. And then on your next breath in, we'll straighten up that front knee, lift all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, coming over, extended side angle. Legs stay where they are, nice and quiet. And then extending that top arm overhead. Maybe rolling that left shoulder back, opening up the chest just a bit more. And then pressing that right forearm down at the top of the thigh, creating more space between the shoulder and the ear. Taking 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Inhale, reverse. And then straighten up that right leg, reaching nice and long. Exhale, coming all the way back up towards center. So we're going to shift our weight towards the front, reach with those right fingertips. And then gently take that right hand, whether it's on the thigh, the calf, or even a block, for a triangle pose. You can always place a nice little bend in that right knee if you need to. But trying to get that front leg as straight as possible, but not locking out, really engaging that quad. And again, see if you can roll that shoulder back, opening up the chest just a bit more. And if it feels good, you can always take that left hand to the low back or even to that right hip crease. Taking 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Inhale, lift that top arm all the way up. Exhale, coming back towards center, bending that right knee. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, coming down. Windmill the arms, low lunge, right foot meets the left. And then take your flow, whether it's going straight to downward facing or your sun A. And we'll just clear our breath. Big inhale in. Nice exhale out. Inhale, lift the left toes up, bend the knee, open up the hip, circling out the ankle, circling out the hip. And still grounding through all 10 knuckles. Really engaging the shoulders, engaging the core. On your next breath in, we'll straighten up that left leg, square off the hip. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. Hold for 1 breath. Inhale, lift that left leg all the way up. Exhale, knee to left tricep, hold. And then place that left on the outside of the left hand. Again, stay here if this is okay. Maybe lower the knee down. Maybe take the hands to a block or a pillow for more leverage. And we'll just stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Full breath in. Full breath out. If your knee's down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And then we'll heel toe that left foot towards midline. Keep the right hand down. We'll inhale that left arm all the way up, twisting. Take a big breath in. And take a big breath out. Left hand switches with the right. Spin the back heel down towards the ground. Inhale that right arm all the way up. And again, staying here for 1 breath. Engaging the legs, engaging the core. We'll just come all the way up, warrior two. So again, just checking in with your stance if you need to shorten it or even make it longer. And then taking the hips and try to level them out, opening up. pressing that front leg against that invisible wall. So sometimes we tend to naturally take our knee towards midline, but we want to avoid that and try to press it to the outside of the mat. Crown of the head is lifting all the way to the sky. And then softening the face. On your next breath in, we'll straighten up that front knee, lift all the way up. And then exhale, coming down, warrior two. Twice more, inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, coming over, extended side angle, pressing that forearm into the top of the thigh. Reaching nice and long with those right fingertips and grounding with that back heel. Maybe rolling the shoulder back, opening up the chest. Take a moment, just observing the breath. If it's set up, which it probably did, mine is, and that's totally okay, we'll just take a big inhale in. Nice, calm breath out. On your next inhale, we'll reverse. Straighten up that front leg, reaching nice and long. Inhale all the way back up towards center. Take the left fingertips towards the front, and then let that left hand drop down to either the thigh or the calf or even the block. Reach that top arm all the way up. Inhale, reach with that right top hand. Maybe take the hand behind the back or in the left hip crease, opening up the chest and shoulder just a bit more. We'll stay here for one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale that top arm all the way up, and then exhale, coming up towards center. Bend that front knee, inhale, reverse. Exhale, wheel the hands down to the ground, low lunge. Left foot meets the right. Going straight into downward facing or take your flow. And we're going to stay here for 3 rounds of active rest. If you need to come down into child's pose at any time, please do so. And then if you're with me, coming back into that downward facing dog, we're going to do that flow one more time, just a little faster, not too much. So when you're ready, we'll inhale the right toes all the way up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift the right foot up. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Right foot comes on the outside of the right hand. Gently placing the knee down if that feels good. And we'll take one breath in. One breath out. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, heel toe that foot towards midline. Inhale that right arm all the way up, twisting. Exhale, right hand switches with the left. Spin the back heel down and inhale the left arm all the way up. Inhale, coming all the way up to warrior two. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, reversed. Exhale, coming over, extended side angle. Inhale, reversed. Straighten up that front leg. Inhale up towards center. And then shifting the weight towards the front, coming down into pyramid pose. We'll just stay here for one breath in. One breath out. Inhale up back towards center, bend the knee. On your next breath in, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, low lunge. Right foot meets the left. And then take your flow. One breath in. One breath out. On your next breath in, lift the left toes all the way up. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. Inhale the left toes up again. Exhale, knee to the left tricep. Foot comes on the outside of the left hand. And then gently taking that right knee down if it feels good. Again, staying here for one breath in. One breath out. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, heel toe that right foot in towards the midline. Inhale, twisting towards that leg. Exhale, spin the back heel down, left hand switches with the right, and the right hand lifts all the way up on an inhale. Nice exhale to mouth. Inhale, coming all the way up, warrior two. Stay for the breath in. Stay for the breath out. On your next breath in, we'll reverse. Exhale, coming over, extended side angle. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Inhale, reverse. Straighten up that front leg. Inhale, up towards center. And then shifting the weight forward, dropping that left hand down to the leg or down to a block. Inhale, lift that top arm all the way up. Exhale, release. Good, one more breath. Inhale, coming up towards center, bend that front knee, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down, low lunge. The left foot meets the right, and then take your flow. And we'll stay here again for 3 rounds of breath in our active downward facing dog pose. You can always come into the child's pose if needed. And if you're with me, coming back into that downward facing dog. One inhale, gaze towards the top of that, bend the knees, and then just take a big step all the way up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. Thumbs come together. Thumbs come to the third eye. And then thumbs come to the chest, heart center. Grounding the feet into the floor. Lifting the crown of the head all the way to the ceiling, maybe closing the eyes. Inhale, chest meets the thumbs. Side up the mouth. 2 more cleansing breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. So we're going to start going into our crow pose, but we're going to do some variations. I personally like to come into crow pose from standing. Sometimes people like to come into crow pose from a squat, so just playing around with it. I'm actually going to back up into the middle of my mat if you want to do that as well. And then taking the feet together, we're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinge of the hips, forward fold. So from here, I'm going to do, some people call it the cheater version. There's no cheating in yoga, it's just a modification. Usually, crow pose, your knee is on the back of your tricep, but it takes a lot of core. Sometimes just to feel what the balance is, we want to take our thighs on the outside of our triceps. So you can also heel toe your feet out, hip width apart if that feels better too. Sometimes people like the big toes together, it just kind of depends. But you're really going to plug your hands, all 10 knuckles, down in the ground, kind of like a cat back. And then you're going to begin to bend the knees and then wrap your thighs around your upper triceps. And then we're just going to shift the weight forward. Maybe one toe comes off, maybe putting it down. Maybe the left toes come up, placing it down. You can always come back into a forward fold if you need to, or sitting back into child's pose. If you want to try the full, just really squeezing both thighs into the upper arms, and then see if you can let both toes come off the ground. So just playing with it. Again, here at home, no judgment here. I have fallen out of crow many times, gracefully, kind of. Just being safe with it. You can always have blankets around if you want a little more comfort in knowing that you won't hurt yourself coming down. So if you want to move on to the next one, you can stay with that. Sometimes people actually like to step on a block or a book. It gives you more leverage. So from here, we'll plug our hands down in the ground just like a cat back again. And this time, placing the knee on the back of the tricep. And again, if you're not comfortable with this, you do not have to do this at all. But the block or the book actually gives you more height, so you don't have to lift your knees up any higher. You're already kind of there. So this may be where you're at, and that's totally fine, just staying here, really engaging the core. Maybe one toe comes off, maybe the other, and then maybe both. And just seeing what works for you. If you want to come into full crow, just doing the same thing. For me, I like having my big toes together and then letting the knees come out as wide as my triceps. And just shifting the weight forward. And really, it's all about the core, not so much your arms, even though it kind of seems like it. So just playing around with it. I promise you, doing crow, it's not going to change your life in one way or another. It's about your journey. Don't worry about it if you don't get it today. I didn't get it right away. It took a while, and that's totally okay. You can even do it in a seated position, really engaging the core, pressing the hands away. There's many variations of doing it, strengthening. And then you can always rest. I'm kind of out of breath doing all that while instructing. Whew. But just playing around with it. I like to say, be very childlike when you do any yoga pose, whether it's something challenging like crow or even as simple as child's pose. Having a childlike mind and heart, it opens you up just to be like, yeah, I want to try it. Even if I do fail at it, that's okay, because it's not really failing. We're just taking the steps along life, just building on what we have in the moment. So again, no big deal if you didn't get it today. If you did, that's totally awesome. And if not, I'm so proud that you just got to this point. All right, let's rest. So let's come down, lengthen out the legs, pointing the feet all the way up. We'll inhale the arms nice and long, and then exhale, lead with the chest. Fingertips meet maybe the calves, even the thighs, maybe the mat, maybe the toes. And then just rounding in. Chin comes to the chest. Your body might feel a little shaky from all those arm balances, chaturangas, and that's okay. Just let your body soften. No need to hold on to anything. And we'll just take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, we'll slowly roll all the way back up. And then with control, we'll just come all the way back down onto our backs. So again, we'll bend the knees, take the feet hip-width apart on the mat. And we're going to take our right ankle on top of the left knee, and then coming back into that figure four. If you want to pull in the knee, you can. If that doesn't feel good, just backing off, maybe rocking side to side. Just letting the body relax. When you're ready, we're going to take that right arm to a half T onto the floor. And then with your left hand, grab onto the top of that right foot or even the ankle. And then we're going to slowly take that figure four with our legs and drop it down to the left. Figure four twist. With that left hand, you can place it on top of the foot to root it down into the ground. You don't have to worry that it's going to slip out or anything. Noticing if you're holding on to any tension. Breathing through it.
releasing. And we'll just stay here for one more breath. When you're ready, just slowly coming back towards the middle and taking the feet back down to the ground. And then we'll just switch sides. So taking the left ankle on top of the right, staying here if that feels okay. Or maybe coming into that figure 4. Just melting the shoulders into the mat. Letting your face be nice and soft. And then when you're ready, we'll take the left arm out into a half T onto the floor. With your right hand, take a hold of the top of that left foot or ankle, and then slowly with control, take the legs down to the right. Gaze can look over to the left fingertips. Maybe holding on to the top of the foot with your right hand. And just feel the ground beneath you, absorbing that calm energy of the earth. Maybe even taking a moment of gratitude and telling yourself, good job, you're doing such an amazing job. A lot of core, a lot of arm, a lot of good things for the body and for the mind and for the breath. When you're ready, we'll take it all the way back up towards center, releasing out of whatever you got going on. Maybe grabbing a hold on to the knees or shins, rocking a little side to side, releasing the low back again. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come into Shavasana. You can have your knees bent and take the feet out wider than hip width. That's a nice reset for the low back. If you want to come into full Shavasana, just lengthening out the legs. You can always have a pillow or blanket underneath the knees. Just letting the feet splay out naturally, letting the palms radiate towards the sky. And then tucking the chin in just a bit, lengthening out the back of the neck. Closing the eyes. And then taking a big inhale through the nose, maybe the biggest breath you've taken in all day. Pause at the top. And then exhale with control, nice and calm. Begin to relax the toes, the soles of the feet and the ankles. Relaxing the calves, the knees, and the tops of the thighs. Softening the hips and the pelvis. And then letting this peaceful sensation flow all the way up through the spine, into the belly, into the chest. Melting the shoulders down into the earth. Relaxing the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Letting them naturally curl in. And then releasing any tension you may have left in your jaw. And then softening the space between your brows. Letting your thoughts and mind become weightless as you sink and surrender to the earth.
slowly come back to the room, back to your body, back to your breath. Wiggling out the fingertips and the toes. And then maybe taking a nice big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. If it feels good, rolling over to your favorite side into fetal pose. And then taking one breath in, one breath out. At the bottom of the exhale, begin to slowly press yourself all the way to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or heavy. And then once you make your way there, taking the hands to heart center. Taking a nice big breath in. Big breath out. Bowing the chin in gratitude for taking this time for yourself and for your practice. I hope you all feel a little brighter, a little stronger, and a little more at peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this evening. Namaste. Well, thank you everyone for coming this evening. I am so happy that I got to sub tonight, and then I hope you all have a great rest of the week. I don't think we're doing yoga or any Tiger Fitness next week, but I hope to see you next week and after that. Bye everyone.